Hi everybody, Sebastien Richard coming to you live today from Prince Edward Island. I wanted to share something with you today that really impacted my life in a huge way. And I know it's going to do the same for you if you can apply it. So the title of my little presentation today, my little video, is How Can Your Gift Make Room for You? A little while back I was reading the scriptures and I fell on an amazing verse that for many years I understood in a different way. And that's what sometimes God will do. You're going to read the scriptures over and over again and pass through a certain scripture and understand it a certain way. And sometimes He's going to give you, when the time is right, when He decides He's going to open your eyes, a new understanding of that verse. And that's exactly what He did with Proverbs 18:16. Okay, Proverbs 18:16 states, "A man's gift makes room for him and brings him before great men." Now, when I was younger, and even before that, when I would read that verse, I always understood it as a physical gift. When you bring a gift to someone, like if you bring a gift to someone, it's going to open doors for you, it's going to make room for you, right? And bring you before great men. I kind of imagine like when you, for example, when you're invited for supper at a friend's house and you bring a bottle of wine, you know, it's going to, it kind of opens the door for you and they get to sit at the table with their guests, and sometimes you can be sitting there and lo and behold, they invited also someone else who happens to be a great man. So I understood it in that way. But that was, with what I know now, I believe, the wrong way to understand that verse. The way to understand this verse is actually to understand that what Solomon is speaking about is the gift that you are born with. Okay? Your talent or your ability. If you're a believer, it's your spiritual gift. But what it's talking about here is the gift that you carry inside, that is what basically what your purpose is, what God has given you to do on earth, the thing that you do better than everybody else, and that when you do that very thing, it blesses other people. That very thing that you know that you are, quote unquote, crushing it, that you're actually really good at, that's your gift, okay? And that's the gift that is spoken of in Proverbs 18:16. So let me repeat that verse again. Proverbs 18:16, "A man's gift makes room for him and brings him before great men." So, like I said, everybody has a gift. Everybody has a special ability or a special talent that only you have, that you can use in such a way that is going to make an impact because you do it so very well. Unfortunately, most people carry that gift inside them and they never put it to use. They never actually serve others the gift of their gift. Basically, when we're called as leaders or as human beings to serve other people, we are called to be there for them, to help them out. We do not understand that serving other people doesn't mean to become their slaves. It means to serve them your gift, your unique talent and ability, that thing that's going to make the world a better place, that's the thing that's going to make your family better, the thing that's going to make your community better, the thing that you do that is above and beyond what others can do in that particular area. That's your gift. And that is the thing that many people live their whole lives and they never ever get to use it. They never actually, not that they don't get to use it, they never actually develop it and make sure that they develop it in order to serve others. Someone once said, the cemetery is the richest place on earth because there are so many gifts that people die and it's still inside them and it was never opened. That is a sad statement, but it's actually the truth, and I've witnessed it time and again. People who have a great gift, but for many different reasons, they do not dare to get out of their comfort zone and develop that gift to make sure that other people can profit from it, to make sure that they serve other people with it, okay? So when we're called to be servants, we're called to be servants of our gift. So, you need to understand the verse. It says a man's gift makes room for him. What does that imply? Well, it implies that in this world, okay, we are born in a world where everybody plays the elbow. Everybody's trying to scream to get noticed. We live in a world where there is not much room for us. Okay? So if you want to stand out, if you want people to notice you, if you want to make your place in this world, you're going to have, number one, to discover your gift, and number two, serve it to others. That's what it means. There is not much room for you and I in this world. We live in a very competitive world. We live in a world where everybody's trying to get heard. Everybody's trying to make room for themselves. But the thing that's going to make room for you, my friend, and for me, is the discovery, first of all, and the use of your unique gift, ability, or talent. Okay? And you need to understand that. So your gift is the key that will unlock opportunity for you. You understand that? Okay, I'll give you an example. Recently, a couple months ago, my wife and I, we rented on Netflix the movie One Chance. The description said it was a feel-good movie, and we were in the mood for a feel-good movie, so we rented that movie. It's the true story of a man named Paul Potts. And the guy was in the movie, and it's in real life, it's based on a true story. The guy is very shy, and he was bullied a lot all through his childhood. And he was a shop assistant. He worked in a cellular company, and he was a shop assistant in a store by day, and an opera singer by night. And he became a phenomenon because the guy, it's the story of when he went on the contest, the television reality show called Britain's Got Talent. And that's how he got his big break. But the movie is amazing because they really show all the steps that he had to take to get there. I mean, he didn't just say one morning, wake up and say, hey, I'm going to apply to Britain's Got Talent. No, they show every single step of the way how it was so hard for him to put that gift forth so that people would actually pay attention to him. But he didn't do it because of that. He did it because he had an undying passion for singing. That was his passion. That was his love. He sang on the way to work. He sang everywhere. And when he did open his mouth to sing, guess what? People got blessed. And here's what I find amazing about the movie, because it really confirms the verse that I mentioned of Proverbs 18:16, because it says, the verse says, a man's gift makes room for him and brings him before great men. And here's a spoiler, guys. I don't want to spoil it for you. You might want to rent the movie, but I'm going to say it anyway. At the end of the movie, not only does he win the contest, but because he's got such a phenomenal voice, the man is requested by the Queen of England. So he gets to sing before the Queen of England. Now you're going to say, that doesn't confirm the verse. It's a woman. He was brought before a great woman. Nah, it confirms the verse anyway, if you understand the meaning of the verse. So he was brought before the Queen of England because he used his gift. So this story was a story of perseverance in wanting to serve your gift to the world, but also a story of passion. I mean, the man never let up, and there were times where he really came close, but whenever he would let up in the use of his gift, you would see him drown in depression. So the story is really, really great, and it's really inspiring about pursuing that passion and pursuing that desire to give your gift to the world, okay? So another great story that I want to share with you is taken from the story of Joseph in the Old Testament. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the scriptures, but the story of Joseph, who was sold by his brothers in Egypt, okay, because they were jealous of him. He was imprisoned for a crime he did not commit. I won't go into details of what the crime was, what he was accused of. But while in jail, Joseph met Pharaoh's chief butler, who was also imprisoned with him. Okay, and the chief butler of Pharaoh he had a dream. He had a dream during the night, and he was puzzled by his dream, and it troubled him greatly. And he shared his dream with Joseph, and lo and behold, Joseph just happened to have the gift of dream interpretation. And Joseph gave him the interpretation of the dream, and he told him, look, 3 more days and you're going to be reestablished in your function as the butler of Pharaoh. So you're going to be taken out of jail and you're going to be brought back before Pharaoh to work for him. And that's exactly what happened. 3 days later, the butler was, and Joseph, let me just give that little detail. Joseph told the butler, he said, look, when that happens, I want you to do me a favor. Don't forget me, okay? So Joseph did want to be remembered for the service he rendered using his gift. So the butler gets out of prison 3 days later. The dream comes true. He's in front of Pharaoh, and he completely forgot about Joseph for 2 years. So that means that Joseph was in that dungeon, in that prison for 2 more years. Did he become bitter? No. But the story says that eventually Pharaoh had a dream. And Pharaoh summoned all the great men of his court, and he told them the dream because he was troubled by it. It was a very impactful dream. And all the people were in front of Pharaoh, all his chief interpreters, his chief magicians and court people and the most influential men there. And he told them the dream, and nobody was able to interpret the dream. And that's when the butler remembered Joseph in jail. And he went to Pharaoh and he said, Pharaoh, I'm ashamed. I forgot about this guy. There's this guy, he's in a dungeon. His name is Joseph. He interpreted my dream 2 years ago, and it came true. And I'm sure that if you bring him before you, he's going to be able to interpret your dream. So Pharaoh ordered that Joseph be taken out of jail, and Joseph came before Pharaoh, and he, obviously, as the story had it, Joseph was able to interpret Pharaoh's dream perfectly. And as a result, Pharaoh not only took Joseph out of jail, but he saw the wisdom behind Joseph. He saw the gift of Joseph. Now that's the key here, right? You're brought before an important man. Your gift will bring you before important men, before great men. And that's the key. So Joseph was not only taken out of jail, but he was put in the position of prime minister of Egypt. And even Pharaoh at the time said, he will be second only to me. So he gave him a super high position. Why? Because Joseph used his gift, and it brought him before a great man, and it gave him renown. Okay? Joseph always used his gift. That's what made Joseph great. Let me repeat that verse again. A man's gift makes room for him and brings him before great men. Now, knowing what I told you today, do you understand the urgency and the importance of you finding your unique talent, ability, or gift, the thing that sets you apart, and using it and to serve other people? It's super important. It's going to determine the rest of your life. If you can figure that out and actually put it forward in forward motion, it's going to change your life. Because everybody was born with a special ability, a special talent, a special gift. Okay? So, what does your gift do? Well, your gift, it blesses others. And since it blesses others, the other result is that it blesses you. Right? Very simple. Because when others are blessed by your gift, they make room for you. And if they make room for you, guess what happens? You find yourself going from, you can call it promotion, or going for higher stations in life and moving forward in your life or your career, because your gift is making room for you and bringing you before great men. Because you found your unique ability and you're willing to use it. Now, I'm going to ask you I'm not going to ask you, but a lot of people ask me, how do I find my gift? Well, that's a process. It's not because you're maybe 40 years old or 35 years old that you necessarily know your gift. A lot of people, they struggle to find their gift, okay? So how do I find my gift? How do I find my purpose? I can't go in detail here because I don't want to make a live that's going to take 2 hours, and it's quite a process. But I'll give you a few simple things to consider. Number one, what do you absolutely love to do that you're actually really, really good at? That's the number one thing. Because a lot of people love to do a lot of things, right? You might say, oh, I really love to do, I don't know, I really love to play golf. Yeah, but the question is, are you really, really gifted at golf? Or are you very average? I mean, sometimes you're really good at something, but you're average. That means it's a hobby. So don't get on your high horse here. A gift means you're really, really, really good at it, and you love to do it. That's a gift. If you love to do it and you're really, really good at it, you stand out, that's a gift. Number two, if it's a gift, people will ask it from you. They will go to you and ask you to use that gift. They will say, I want your gift. Can you help me with your gift? You have a gift for this. Can you help me with it? Okay? So you're going to get commended by people. You're going to get, people are going to ask for more of it because it's a gift and it's blessing them and it's adding value to them. Okay? So you need to understand that. So if it's a real gift and it's not just a hobby, if you're really gifted with something, people are going to want it. Okay? They're going to ask for it. Number three, think and ponder. You need to think, you need to pause, you need to really reflect, go inside yourself, be introspective, maybe for once in your life. Think about what is it that sets you apart? What are you really good at? What do you know that you can do better than everybody else? So that's something you need to do. You really need to think about it. And number four, if you're a believer, okay, if you're a believer, ask God to reveal your gift to you, okay? Ask God to reveal your gift and your purpose to you. I once had a friend who said, well, how do I ask him? What do I do? I said, look, you know, it's a process and he's probably not gonna answer it overnight. So what I do is I tell people, I say, pull on his robe every day, constantly. Don't let him go. Always like annoy the heck out of him until he gives you the answer. If you're a believer, God will show you what your gift is. You know what? I'll tell you why. He put the gift in you. If it's your purpose, he put the gift in you and he expects you to use the gift. He expects you to discover it and use it because it's part of your what? Your purpose. So pull on his robe, bother him day and night, never let go, and guess what's God's going to do? He's going to reveal it to you. Either he can use anything. I mean, he can use a scripture verse that's going to open your eyes. He can use circumstances that are going to open your eyes. He can use the words of a friend or something you hear on TV. God is not limited by anything. But eventually, trust me, if you bother him constantly for him to show you your gift, he will show you your gift. He will say, this guy's resilient, or this girl's resilient, this woman's resilient. I'm going to show her what I put in her and what I expect her to do with it. Okay? Never let him go for that. So, I think I covered pretty much everything with this verse. I will repeat the verse one last time. A man's gift makes room for him and brings him before a great man. That is Proverbs 18:16. I hope and I pray that you will take it to heart and that you will work towards discovering your gift and that you will put it forth for others to benefit from that gift. Because that is the purpose of man. That is what you were put on earth to do. You weren't put on earth to work at a job you hate and to pay bills all of your life. That is not what you're here for. You are here to discover your gift and use it to bless others. So may God bless you in the discovery of your gift. Have a great day. God bless you.